Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew. Here's Coach Lew.
Good morning, guys. It is Monday morning, and it is a little chilly again out. We had a really nice few days of summer came up in the middle of this winter, and now it's a little chilly again. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you ever think to yourself, my God, have we been in 2 years of winter? Has this been an extended winter, nuclear winter? What is going on? It feels like, last week we talked about winter. So if you watched or listened to the show, you were like, wow, this has been a very long winter. You're not alone. We've all had unprecedented challenges over the past few years, okay? It's been a challenging couple of years to deal with all of what we've dealt with. There's been a lot of stress, a lot of media frenzy, a lot of loss, a lot of emotional roller coaster. And that usually is associated with that season of life that we refer to as winter. Okay? I'm not talking about the season of weather. Now, weather, we know we're going to go through those seasons. You can almost predict. They can almost predict in certain parts of the country, this is what the average temperatures will be. This is what the average rainfall will be. This is what the average wind will be. This is what the average length. This is what the daylight hours are going to be. This is what the nighttime hours are going to be. That's a lot easier to predict than the seasons of life. Now, the truly successful people and the people that see this stuff coming have gotten really good at predicting it. And in the past, you can see patterns of how well it was predicted and the people that were caught off guard by these overly crazy seasons of life, right? Okay, I agree with you. Winter's been here too damn long. So you ready for some spring? Okay, the springtime when everything blooms, the amazing, the great, everything's great for you. Are you ready for this? I'd venture to say, yes, I'm ready. So let's go ahead and slide into spring. Let's talk about this a little bit. Last week we discovered that we go through these seasons just the same as the seasons of weather. The difference is they're not quite as easy to predict the time frames that we'll go through. Okay, history's shown us this time and again. We also learned that last week some people freeze to death in the winter. Some people are miserable. Some people are depressed. Other people get out and jump on a snowboard, a snowmobile, and go cruising through that winter. It's like that season in business, an example of the past couple of years with all the COVID craze, where people had businesses and they couldn't do this, couldn't do that. You're locked down. You can't, have people in your restaurant. And restaurants are a great example. Mom and pop down the road shut down and said, well, we'll wait it out. And their landlord's going, well, you got to pay the rent. The electric company's going, you got to pay the bills. The food that's spoiled in the freezer, the vendors aren't going to give it back to you for free. And then there was the other guy that said, hey, we got to figure out a way to weather this storm. They're our biggest competition, mom and pops, and we're grandma and grandpop's restaurant. What do we do here? We offer delivery. We offer curbside service. Okay, we have limited seating, but we don't close the doors and send our people home and go in a corner and freeze to death. We're going to get through this. And then some things like a lot of these delivery companies and, Uber Eats is born, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Not that sliced bread's a great thing, and nor is Uber Eats. You can't even leave your home to go pick up your own food. Now, I agree that it is convenient when you're in the middle of a project and you don't want to drive across town and stand there and wait while they figure out your order and everything else. I get it. It can be time saving. But if you're sitting at home with Netflix going, let's order something on Uber Eats, you're lazy. Okay? I don't say that harsh or mean, but you're being lazy. If you're going, I'm in the middle of a project and I can't really afford the hour to go drive over there and back and forth, I'd rather pay $10 than lose an hour of my day. I think any of us will agree. I'd rather spend $10 extra than lose an hour of my day. I don't know what Uber Eats costs. I don't use them. But then Jen's ordered a couple times on them to bring us food, but I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and order food. Well, not that I'm sitting on the couch very often, but they exploded during that time. Amazon, when the stores were like, put a mask on, put a face shield on, show your vaccine card to come into Target and shop, or into, mom and pop's little juice bar here. And they were like the Gestapo. Bingo. They suffered when, Bezos was in charge then. Hey, let's get it right to their door. Let's do it overnight. Let them push that button. Let's do one day. Let's do same day. Let's feed the need. And, then people go, oh, that greedy bastard grew. Those greedy bastards. They're not greedy bastards. It was the laziness. You didn't want to get in your car and go to Target, or you went to Target and, that you were so harassed by the mask police that you turned around and said, screw this, I'll order online. What you got to understand is this is the winter. That is the winter season. Okay? During that winter season, people became secluded, depressed. They lost faith, given up hope over the past few years. And there were others that flourished and grew and succeeded. That's my whole point in that winter environment, that not everybody was secluded, depressed, and locked down and locked in. Some people absolutely blossomed during that winter season. All right, what is the difference? I think we talked about this last week, meaning. Okay, some saw it as barren death, while others saw it as time to grow and enjoy the challenge. If you wake up and there's snow everywhere and you're like, oh, this is miserable, you're going to not love it, right? But what if you wake up in the morning and we just had a mini earthquake there? Now I adjusted my seat because my head was cut off. What if you wake up in the morning, you see snow outside, and you're a little kid and you got a new sled? You want to go get that, go get to the hill and slide down that hill where that snow is fresh and crisp. Isn't that a lot different than, guess I got to dig my car out? Which is a better attitude? This is what I'm coming to you guys to say. I don't care. I get a little ragged on the whole sham of the past few years, but I don't care if you wear a mask or you don't. I don't care if you chose to get vaccinated or not. What you do is your business. What I did is my business. My whole point to it is to show the differences in behaviors and the way that people feel about what went on. We were all in the same boat. You, me, and your next door neighbor and everybody was all in the same boat over the past couple of years. We had some craziness going on. We all viewed it differently. Okay. Part of our business did much better thanks to the whole having to switch the model of the way we did business. And the other part of it suffered a little bit, so we had to go, which is the best way? How can we snowboard through this? It's not always fun. It's still cold when you're snowboarding. It's still cold if you're snowmobiling, but it's better than being crouched in a corner, huddled up somewhere going, I'm freezing to death. Do you see my point here? And a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know, you're a little over the top. You kind of call things the way they are. You kind of make some people uncomfortable. So what? If I'm making you uncomfortable, I'm doing my job to you as your coach to make you take some action. If I say something and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you got to ask yourself why. If I say something and it makes you feel like, yeah, that's me, I'm doing this, yeah, I love this, you ask yourself why. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to knock and, stuff like that. But I am here to let you know that you are in control of your emotional responses to things. So it may be a metaphor that I use all the time to get something across to you, but it sticks. We can't control the weather, but we certainly control how we dress for it. That's a metaphor in itself. If it's cold out, put on a jacket. I've noticed that in Florida here. We don't get a lot of cold, but 50 is like 40 or 20 back home. It's a different kind of cold. But, I go somewhere to do like a car auction, and I've got a heavy jacket on, and I've got a hat on, and maybe some gloves and jeans, and, ready to rock and roll. And it's still a little annoying, but I'm okay. And then there's, the guys that show up and they still have a pair of shorts on and a t-shirt and maybe a light jacket, and they're freezing, and, oh my God. And it's, well, maybe you should put some pants on and put a jacket on. Maybe that's what we need to do when we go through winter. All right, so enough about winter. I was kind of trying to get a good recap of what we talked about last week and get you going, I'm kind of ready. I feel the push in my back. Coach, you're pushing me forward. Let's get out of this winter season. I'm kind of sick of it. It's been extended. Winter's fun in its normal season. Winter can be a strengthening time. Winter can be a kick in the pants. But this long, extended few-year winter season of our lives has been more like a kick in the front of the pants. And it doesn't necessarily feel good. Maybe it did feel good. Maybe you loved all what went on. It was still, I don't think there's anybody that says, I loved what created the process, but I think there's people that said they love what's come out of it. That's the difference. All right, so let's get the heck out of winter. Shake it off. Go, yeah, let's get into some spring, baby. Okay, spring always follows winter. If you look back through history and the weather, it always does. And in history, it does too. We go into wartime, dark times, depressions, and then there's the roaring X after, or the next generation after, the celebratory, the happy 50s, whatever it was. Spring always follows winter. It's just time to recover from the cold, from the hard work, from the regrow, and emerge from that hibernation of winter. Even if you enjoy winter, you're still a little more hibernated because you're bundled up. You tend to eat more. You tend to gain a little more weight in the winter usually. Spring, on the other hand, is your time to blossom, grow, gain hope, motivation, and usually is the time of year where people start to get concerned about taking care of their bodies. You're going to be wearing less clothes. You might want to go to the beach. You want to enjoy your summer. You don't want to, take off your shirt and have everything flopping. And you don't want to, have wings on the backs of your arms. And, everybody gets ready to go and say, hey, it's time to get ready for summer. But that's what spring is. It's like a preparation time. Okay. So how does this apply to us in today's world? We know how springs applied to us before. It's the time of year where you start digging up the soil if you're a farmer. You start planting some seeds so the stuff can grow through the summer, harvest in the fall. But how does it apply to 2022? Okay, so the number one thing you need to do is remember why you're here and what it is that makes you thrive. What drives you? This is the number one thing to get us into spring. What is driving you? Okay. What is your most important power pushes? Your whys. Is it your children? Is it growing your business? Is it, finding a mate if you're single? Is it, making a choice to get divorced if you've been in a bad relationship? Is it making a choice to fix the current relationship you're in? Or maybe you're in a great relationship and it's time to just take it to the next level. Whatever it is, what is your why? What are you driving towards? What makes you thrive? This is no longer about survival. Winter is about survival. Even if you find ways to snowboard, ski, and have fun through it, it's still a survival time of year a time of your life, because it's cold, it's harsh, it makes you grow. We need winter. But it's time to find out what makes you thrive, what excites you, what seeds do you want to sow for the next stages, the next 2 seasons we're going to go through. Okay? Use that power why. Number 2, use that power why to take action to move forward and look forward to the best of times. Okay? You're not going to go, if you were a farmer, you're not going to go, okay, well, this is the time of year I should plant, but I don't know, with everything that's been going on, we might not have this, or this might not happen, or this person might not be, get elected or reelected or out of here. Or you can't sit there and wait till when. If you don't plant those seeds, you're never going to harvest. So what is it you want to plant? What is it you want to cultivate for your summer and your fall season of the next seasons of life? Okay. And I'm not talking stages of life. I'm not talking about, plan your retirement, in your fall, and, that's the end. We're going to see several season changes unless you're like at the end of your life, which God willing, you're not. But even then, plant those seeds. But what is your power of why to get you to take action? Use it. Use it to actually take action. Time to plant those seeds of growth. Number 3, get them in the ground. Plant them. Water them. Stop holding back and waiting for someday or when XYZ happens. Because if you wait for XYZ to happen, or someday, or I'll start next Monday, or next month I'll start getting in shape, or next year I'll open a business, or maybe I'll buy a home, after the real estate market crashes, and when the next president gets in, God willing, I just slide that in there. When the gas prices go down, when, if you keep waiting for when, there's only going to be another problem set or challenge set at that point in life. It doesn't matter necessarily who's in office as much as it matters how you are as a community and how we build from us up to them. Those suckers in Washington work for us. And when we remember that and demand answers and accountability, we're not always going to agree with each other. We're not always going to see every single political move the same. We're not going to always agree on everything, each and every one of us. But when you sit there and go, we are united in one factor that, we're free. We want to keep our freedoms. We want to, have people treated well. We want to have the ability to grow and contribute. Those are the basics. I think we can all agree on that. Okay. So, but decide what it is you're planting. And then you decide. It's you that decides when your spring starts. I say start it today, whether it's cold out or not, whether there's snow on the ground or not. Let's go. Let's not wait until April to call it spring. In the seasons of your life, let's get going. And it still might be, we're coming out of winter. You go to dig that hole to plant the seeds and the ground's still frozen. So go ahead and build a greenhouse over it, if you want to use some metaphors. Plants can grow wonderfully in the winter in a greenhouse. So can your spirit, so can your business, so can your relationships. You can create the environment for growth any time of year. Okay, we've proven this. If they can send, probes to Mars and grow a plant on Mars, we certainly can get control of our lives here on Earth. We have a lot of tools to work with, but it's just taking that action. Okay, so decide when your spring season starts. Let's get going. What is an action? What are some of the things that you need to take action on now that you haven't been, because we've been in this winter of drama for the past few years and stuff like that. So when is it now? When is now a time to go forward? Okay, let's do it now. Let's kick your spring off now and get going. And number 5 of this is stop watching the news. It is designed to keep you in winter. Last time I checked, you don't get in and watch the news and everybody goes, hey, what a wonderful day it is, my friends. What a wonderful day. Good morning, Don. I see you're on, brother. That's not what we're getting. We're getting the worst of the worst. We're getting the extra drama. We're getting one-sided stories that what sells on the news. They say if it bleeds, it leads, right? Well, that is, my God, that is so true when it comes to the news. So don't subject yourself to that. Go, I'm starting my spring. Now, some things you need to be aware of, and, trust me, you're going to get filled in on community events. You don't need to sit there glued to the news station. Number 6, make your own decision and stand for your beliefs and your rights. You see, the one thing in the times we're in, too, is there's a lot of people that would like to see division. Divided we fall, united we stand. I know that's a very old comment, a very old and overused, but it is so true that if you look back after September 11th, we were one nation under God, indivisible. It didn't matter what color you were, what your last name was, anything else. Everybody stood for each other. Everybody helped everybody heal. Didn't matter. There wasn't the enemy. But there's an enemy out there that would like to see color division, ethnic division, religious division, lifestyle divisions, where people would like to see people dislike each other just because of different views and in the way they behave, in the way they live. Now, my belief is kind of, you do your thing, I'll do mine. I have my faith the way I want it. You believe the way you want. You worship the way you want. You call your God how you want to call God. I'll call God how I want to call God. And the thing in common is most people that have a God or a greater being that they I don't know how to say, that they pray to or that they go to, they're generally people that do better in their community. If you really have a spiritual connection to something, you are you're more apt to be compassionate and loving and giving in your community than somebody who walks around and goes, there's no God, and we're just, parameciums that turned into this, and there was an explosion in the sky, and the miracle of you and you and you and you and me is just random. I don't know if I buy that, but if that's your belief, I support your right to have that belief in a free country, in a free world. But you got to look and go, what is the important thing? The real important thing in this world is our communities, our people, our families. It's people that make the countries go round. Robots are never going to take the place of people. And there's people that are, oh my God, everything's turning into artificial intelligence and we're going to get wiped out. And, people still have to do this stuff. But that's why you take care of your community. That's why you take care of yourself and continue on this level of going forward strong, bam. We don't want to lose track of that. It is time for some springtime. It's time for you to flourish again. That's the whole purpose of the show this morning. And number 7, don't be a follower. Be a leader. If everybody's talking gloom and doom, spin it over to spring. Say, hey guys, I agree. We've had a tough winter. Acknowledge. Always acknowledge. Don't ever when you start, you're wrong, you're wronging somebody, they're going to want to push back and tell you why you're wrong. If you tell somebody, you know what, I get it. I know you've been through something. It's been tough. But you know what? We're winding out of it. We're coming out of it. Look at this. Look at this. You start pointing the direction of spring. When you point somewhere, somebody's attention goes there. Hey, did you see this? Did you see how nice it was out yesterday? We didn't have to scrape frost off the windshield. It was nice and sunny. And somebody goes, oh yeah, that is a good sign. The days are getting longer if you're talking weather. And if you say to somebody, I know that your business was suffering, but, I drove by your place the other day and you had a line of people. And somebody goes, hey, you know what? You're right. I'm still digging out of the hole from this long winter, but wow, you know what? You're right. We did it. We had a great day the other day. If you can capitalize on that and help somebody else by pointing out that spring is around the corner. What about people who have been very depressed because they've been locked down or they lost their businesses? If you go and you tell them, yeah, that was horrible what happened to you, that was horrible, you're keeping them in winter. If you say to them, yeah, you got your butt kicked, I acknowledge that, but you know what? Here it is. It's your time to start stepping up. Let's rebuild. So are you ready for spring to come? You know what comes after spring? Summer. That's our time to play and celebrate and enjoy. Summertime's fun. So let's get spring going so we can plant the seeds for a great summer and a great fall harvest again. It's our time. It's time to start living again, guys. Let's get our heads out of our butts and stop worrying about what happened and this was done wrong and this person misled and the news created this and, a bat crapped on a fish in China, which we all know is not the truth, and call it what it was. It was a really bad experiment that went sideways and really screwed up our economy and allowed a lot of bad things to happen. But now it's time to take control again. Let's get spring going. Let's get back on our feet. Yeah, I'm acknowledging. I know you had a tough few years. no matter what end of it, even if you flourished, even if your business grew, I know there was some tough times where you had to innovate. Okay, it hit us too. But what is it that you're coming into spring? What do you really want for your business, your life, your friends, your family, your community, the world as a whole? What do you want to represent to that? What kind of representation do you want to walk around and go, how bad we've had it and we're ruined and we're destroyed? Or would you kind of like to go, you know what, I'm ready to shed all that weight off my back and get into spring, start getting back into shape, get my life in order, get my finances back in order, get my business back. Maybe you're never getting your business back. Maybe you start a new one. Maybe you're never getting your old job back. Maybe it was time to get the hell out of there anyway because you've been there for 20 years and you're doing the same thing and you're really not going anywhere and you lost that job. Or maybe this is the opportunity to start a business, or this is the opportunity to get the dream job of your life. Let's go into spring. So let's spread this spring concept all around. You know, what we're doing is let's bring it to our families, ourselves, our communities, our country, and do the world the great service of being who you are. Don't spread gloom and doom and winter and rob your loved ones and your friends and your family and everybody don't drag them into the muck and mire. Okay? Let's bring some joy and happiness back. Doesn't mean that we're just going to go, oh, it's spring, it's all easy. You're still going to have to work on it. There's still going to be challenges. But let's spring into a better attitude of the way we're dealing with it. Let's welcome spring back into our lives. Commit today that we're putting an end to the gloom and doom. Simple. Just say, I'm done. Okay, let's face the reality. 2/3 of our country is not dead in the streets and laying, we don't have, people laying dead from COVID and walking down the street and dropping dead. And there's bodies in the streets and all this stuff that, the Black Plague did to, years and years ago and stuff like that. Okay, the riots and all that crap is over with. People are starting to look at each other and go, I don't dislike you because of your color. I don't dislike you because of the religion that you practice. You're actually a good person. Or anything else. People are starting to look around and go, you're not my enemy. You are my brother. You are my sister on this planet. You are my community. Okay, community doesn't know colors. It doesn't know, that you pray differently, or you're an Episcopalian and you're a non-denominational, and you're Jewish and you're Arabic and you're this and you're that, and we all should be bombing each other because of that and shoot. No, our communities don't really know that kind of stuff. There's other countries in the world where they're so brainwashed that cousins kill cousins because they live on one side of the line or the other. They're all the same blood, but oh my God, you live over there and you live there, you're my enemy. Okay, that kind of stuff that that's not United States of America. There's a reason we're called the United States of America. Because again, that's because we are united so that we can stand together. Everybody stand together, whether we agree with each other or not. And that makes some of the beauty of life. I look and go, I don't have to agree with you to respect you. I don't have to agree with you to defend your right to have your opinion. And we all just ask the same in reverse. You don't have to like my opinion, but if I get you to take action after you watch one of these shows, that's my job. Remember that. Okay, sometimes I offer things up in a bitter little pill to make you wake up. Sometimes I sugarcoat something and make it yummy to pull you towards it. See, I don't know what you look like. I don't know what religion you practice. I see a few people are online and I know you personally. Some of you I don't know personally, but I still respect you. You're on here going, hey, how can I learn something today that can better my life and better the people around me? That's what this show is all about. So I immediately have a respect for you, and we're kindred in that fact, no matter what necklace you wear around your neck, no matter what color you are, no matter what you eat for dinner, no matter where you live, anywhere in this world, we're not enemies. We're kindred. None of that other stuff matters because you're digging into the heart going, how can I be a better person? When you become a better person, your community becomes better, your world becomes better. If there was more of that, we wouldn't have so many problems. This is why It's so important to get up and let's get into spring. Let's spring into it. Let's do this. Let's connect. Let's communicate. Let's build this community stronger. Okay. Now, the truth of it is there are a few gloomers out there that benefit by getting us to believe in media fraud and frenzy and hatred and the down and out and the end of the world and that, because there are people that profit from that. Trust that 90% of the negativity that's thrown at you is so somebody can profit. And I am not against profit. I am a total entrepreneur, I'm small business coach, everything else. I want to see success. But I do not want to see success without fulfillment for you, because that's going to be empty. And worse yet, I don't want to see success from people who create hatred and disruption and fear into other people, and that's how they profit. Okay? That is not right. That is an ethical thing. No matter what religion you are, or what spirituality you are, you've got to admit that people that rule and take advantage of you by fear, by making you hate, and that's how they profit. I don't think any of us, except for a very few, see that as the way to do things. So when you look at it, probably 99.99% of our world, we are all on the same side, even though we have different beliefs and different outlooks and different this, that, and the other. But I think we all can say that we don't want to profit from fear, hate, destruction, and deception. We want to profit from doing the right things, the good things. And it doesn't mean we're all woo-woo kumbaya, okay? Being a strong, tough businessman and a heavy-duty real estate negotiator does not make you bad. Building a multi-billion-dollar company does not make you bad. Building a multi-billion-dollar company on slave labor or child labor, or you selling cocaine, and importing illegal drugs, or, selling fear, that's bad. Okay. Making a huge profit because you got a great business idea and you put effort into it does not make you bad. Money doesn't make you good or bad. As a matter of fact, the lack of money tends to make people do things they normally wouldn't do if they had money that might be less than ethical. But think about this. Money is just an amplifier. You play a guitar, bam, 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 and your people are within 10, 12 feet of you can hear you. You put it through an amplifier, and you might be able to amplify it over a whole city, depending on how many speakers and amplifiers you have. Look at that as money. If you've got beautiful music and you play it and you're all by yourself, that might be relaxing or enjoyable. But if you share it with others, oh, hey, that's great. The people in your house or in the bar you're playing at or in the little, center of town. But if you share it with the world and it's something that's great and amazing, you're making an impact. So let's make an impact this spring. Let's do this. Winter's been here long enough. Be done. Step up and shine your warmth and spring all around, guys. Let's do this. Let's get your music out there. Okay, if you want to use that for a metaphor, get it out there that it is time to shine, time to be strong again, time to be united, and let's take back our freedom to be us and our freedom to be what? Happy. That's the one thing that's really been sucked out this winter, is even the people that are strong through winter, I've noticed, are not as happy as they could be or as they should be. So let's go back to some happiness, because when you're happy, are people around you happy? Have you ever been in a bad mood and had a child come around you that is absolutely just the loving, sweet, fun child, and you go from being in a grumpy mood to, oh my God, how beautiful, or how cool, or this kid's so neat. Our niece came to spend the weekend with us, and I was a little surprised because on Friday night in the middle of the auction, I find out she's coming for the weekend. And initially I was a little bit annoyed. I'm like, would somebody like to told me this? What if I had, we had plans to be away or something? And I started to get snitty and get an attitude. Yeah, me. So in the middle of the auction, I'm like, really? And I'm like, and then I'm like, well, I do love her. She's an awesome niece. And, I've missed her. We haven't seen her much because everybody's been so busy. And the minute she walked in that door and came up and hugged me, it was like my heart was this big and everything was joyous. Well, let's do that for the world. Let's be kids again for the world. Let's go, hey, it's snowing out. Let's grab a sled and go. Hey, it's spring. Let's get the kayaks out. Let's get out and enjoy it. Hey, it's summer, beach time, baby. Hey, it's fall, time to reap the rewards. We kicked butt. I know this is a lot of metaphoric speaking, guys, but the reality is I just want to get you to step up and get going again. It's time. Let's do this. Let's have the happiness. Let's have the enjoyment. I'm so psyched. I woke up early again this morning because I was like, this is important. This is something that whether you say God puts it into me to teach the things we teach, whether it's the effort I put into it, however you want to look at that, think about it. I woke up early going, I can't wait to get on the show this morning and share this, because this could have an impact. If I impact 10 people, they might impact 10 people, 10 people, 10 people. If I impact 100 people, how many thousands of people could we impact? And just with one simple message, not woo-woo, change the world by praying on a secret or thinking there's a secret to success. Start living success. Spring brings success if you allow yourself to go into the spring season of your life. All right, guys, I've kept you long this morning. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Those that did, those of you who are going to watch on the replay, definitely looking forward to seeing you. That would be awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, here we go. So live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. Have an amazing day, guys. This is Coach Lew signing off.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.